Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Avery Wyatt, and thank you all for coming out tonight. I'd like to welcome all of our guests that we have that come back on a regular basis. Thank you all. And also thank you to all the new guests we have out there. And don't forget to share our page. Don't forget to share our posts on Instagram. We're just starting to amp that up right now. So feel free to give it a follow at Amplified Natives. But yeah, for those who don't know, Amplified Nevada Native Youth is a college outreach and retention program for Native students in Nevada, and specifically for those under the Nevada Native Youth Community Project. And so we help out rural Native students in Nevada, and also just all Native students who are interested in learning about careers or college opportunities. And so next week, I'd like to tell everyone that we'll be having some natives who are involved in film and film writing. And so if you're interested in that type of artistry, feel free to come by next week and tune into our show next Thursday at 6 p.m. And so as I said, my name is Avery Wyatt. I'm a college student at the University of Nevada, Reno. I'm studying public health and political science. And also I have a minor in addiction treatment services. And yeah, I have a passion to help Native students, and so does my co-host, Fredina. So Fredina, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Good evening, everybody. Ferdina Jar Romero with the Nevada Department of Education, and excited to hear from Warrior Brown today, and excited that Avery is bringing so many great presentations to us. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it back to Avery.
Cool, thanks, Virginia. And then, yeah, like you said, we have an amazing guest with us tonight. He's from IAIA. And so for those who don't know, that's the Institute of American Indian Arts. And yeah, I think it's very interesting to be able to have an art school as a TCU. And yeah, Warrior, we'll let you introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us a little about what you do at IAIA. And yeah, then we'll get into your presentation that you have for us today.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Ferdina, for inviting me out today. My name is Warrior Brown. I'm the admissions counselor at the Institute of American Indian Arts. We're located in beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico. For any of you guys who don't know where Santa Fe is, we are located in the northeastern side of New Mexico. We're about an hour away from Albuquerque, and we're a very great place if you love the arts, whether that be performing arts or, musical arts or just the arts in general. I definitely recommend checking out Santa Fe someday. So thanks for the introduction, Avery.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for taking the time out of your day to be with us tonight. I know I actually had the opportunity, and I know I told you this before, but I had the opportunity to take some students to IAIA, and it was such a unique campus, like, especially the location. Like it felt like it was really in the desert. It felt like you were a part of like the land in a way. Like it just felt really good to be on that campus when I was there. And I think there's a lot of Native students who are from this area who are actually interested in that school. So I think it's important that you're here tonight. And yeah, thanks again.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. So did you want to go right into the presentation? Or?
Yeah. Feel free you can go ahead and start your presentation now. And
okay.
Yeah, we'll hear what you have to say for us today.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Thank you again, Avery. Let me just open this up just to double check. You can see the screen, right?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Hey. All right. Sounds good. So let's begin with talking a little bit about our statistics following our institution. These numbers are a little old. They're not too different from this past fall's numbers. So we're still in the process of updating a lot of our numbers, but we'll use these numbers for now. As of last fall, we had about 600 students, about 371 totally lived on campus. Out of that 600 students, we had about 93 federally recognized tribes that we represent that actually attend here at IAIA. So that really just kind of gives you a better idea of how diverse we are as not only a TCU institution, but as an art institution. So we get tribes from all over the country. Definitely a great place if you want to kind of explore more and learn a little bit more about other tribes. You got to remember there's over 500 tribes out there, and we're all very unique in how we think and what we believe in. So it's another way of learning if you're interested, and that's definitely something we offer here at IAIA. A part of that 600 student headcount, we take great pride in our low numbers, specifically because we get to offer our students more on that one-on-one learning style. So in our classrooms, we offer an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And that really just allows, you know, students, especially future artists, possibly like some of you are that are in the audience, that really allows you to build those connections you need to successfully build yourself as an artist. And when you're really close with your professor and you really start to, you know, build that one-on-one relationship with them and learn from them on a more proactive level, then you're actually going to get a lot more out of your education. So we take great pride in the low numbers that we have, just so we can spend a little bit more time individually with each student. And then one thing to also keep in mind is, you know, a lot of people think we're only for Native American students, but in fact, 25% of our student population is non-Native. So if you know any non-Native artists who are looking for a good school to go to school for very low cost, definitely recommend IAIA. We're open to, you know, everybody to apply for, and everybody pays the same price whether you're out of state or in state. So, alrighty, let's move on to the next page. I'm sorry for my lack of creativity with my presentation. So it's pretty straightforward, but let's talk a little bit more about the undergraduate degree programs. We currently offer 6 graduate degree programs here at IAIA and 3 certificate programs and 2 graduate programs. One is still in the making, so we're very excited about the Studio Arts MFA program that's coming soon. So I want to talk to you a little bit more specifically about the undergraduate degree programs. And the undergraduate degree programs are the Studio Arts, which is really for the for the students who are interested in painting, drawing, photography, really more in the visual art side. If you're more interested into using metals or ceramics or jewelry making, you can definitely find all of those within the realm of Studio Arts. The next degree program we offer is creative writing. So these are for students who are more interested in expressing their artistic talent in terms of writing. So if you're one of the few poets, indigenous poets that aspire to become great someday, definitely come to IAA. Or if you want to go more into screenwriting or poetry, nonfiction, there's an endless amount of different types of writing styles you could study here. Cinematic arts, oh, I'm sorry, the next one after that, I want to talk about the museum studies program. So our museum studies program is such an amazing program to where we allow our students to really work hands-on with artifacts and very, very precious paintings and old artifacts, in fact. And our students basically learn how to handle all these very precious items that we store in our collection studio. So the museum studies program is primarily geared for anybody who wants to go into curation or anybody who would like to work in a museum someday or an art gallery. It's really geared towards students who want to focus on the preservation of art. And the 4th degree program that we really offer, it's the Cinematic Arts and Technology program. This is one of our most exciting and fastest growing programs here at IAIA, and that coincides a lot with the movie industry here in New Mexico. Just recently, Albuquerque has extended their contract to continue to have Netflix studios work within Albuquerque. So lately, there's been so many films that are being produced and made here in the Southwest and primarily in New Mexico. And that's bringing in a lot of talent and jobs for the state of New Mexico. So IAIA is kind of in the forefront of that. You know, really at the end of this degree program, students are actually prepared to work in professional film environments, you know, whether that be here in New Mexico or in Hollywood. They'll learn everything from acting to screenwriting to film production, working with cameras, basically everything you would need to become a successful director. The next program that I want to talk about is our Indigenous Liberal Studies program. This program is very unique in what it offers. Students who are interested in studying more of anthropology side or the philosophy behind what it feels to know. We kind of guide this degree program by the term Indigenous ways of knowing, which is kind of taking a deep dive into the Indigenous way of life, kind of taking a very holistic approach to studying Indigenous lifestyles to better help them to someday become change makers in their community. So anybody that's possibly interested in law per se and would like to really use this indigenous knowledge to work and help Native communities throughout the world. So the next program that we have is the Performing Arts program, and I like to call this our baby program because it's the most brand new one here on campus. And that goes aside with our brand new Performing Arts building. So this degree program is really just focused on performance as an art form. So singing, dancing, acting, really, play creation. It's really just kind of focusing on the art of storytelling for the performing arts. I'm sorry. So when you're in this degree program, you have the opportunity to work in our brand new Black Box Theater, basically where you learn the ideology behind stagecraft. So being able to set up the lighting, the sounds, making sure that costumes are ready, writing the script for a play, basically everything you would need to know with setting up a stage for audiences. And then, we also offer our certificate programs. So all of these programs can be offered online. So if you're one of the students who already maybe has a bachelor's degree and wanted to do something in the meantime, I recommend getting a certificate. They're fairly easy to finish and complete. If you're looking to be a full-time student, it's $1,667 per semester. We do offer 3 different certificate programs. If you are going to plan on finishing, if you do want to finish this degree program up in a year, you would have to do it full-time. But if you're one of the students who want to do it part-time, that's totally fine. But right below the names are the amount of credits. So if you feel like you have to take a picture of the screen really quick, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but I just want to let you know that we have some amazing certificate programs. Okay. So for any of you guys that are fresh out of high school, or that are about to graduate high school, this application process is mostly geared towards you. And this is the freshman application process, which is for applicants that are coming to college or coming to IAIA with less than 24 transferable credit hours. So with that being said, some of you guys might have taken dual credit while in high school, and you have some college credit. So as long as you remain under that 24 credit hours, you're considered a freshman applicant. So basically, all you would need to do is turn in your submit an online application, which can be found on our admissions webpage. At the end of the application, you would have to pay a $25 non-refundable application fee. You could use a credit or debit card to complete that transaction. So it's really no hassle. The next thing you would need to do is submit all official high school transcripts. If you do have some college credit, you would also have to submit your college transcripts as well. So as long as you stay under that 24, you're considered a freshman. And lastly, this is the optional one, and it's not required for admissions. So it is your tribal enrollment documentation. So if you do have that, definitely send it over to us. And keep in mind that your official transcript should remain sealed within their envelopes. We also do accept electronic transcripts as well. And our Spring 21 deadline is January 4th of next year. So we still have quite a bit of time to apply. And then also one deadline that's not in here is our fall deadline, which is mid-July, July 27th, I believe. So definitely keep those dates in mind. And if you have any questions, definitely reach out or go to our website down below here. All right, this is for transfer students, and this is for anybody that's over 24 credit hours. So the only thing that's extra above what I described in the freshman process, you would need to submit 2 letters of recommendation, at least one from a teacher, counselor, or community leader. As long as you're not family members, then it should be fine. A statement of interest, kind of just describing who you are and why you want to come to IAIA. And a portfolio of your intended area of study. So there is different requirements for the portfolio. So depending on your degree that you want to go into. So if you want to look at all those requirements more in depth, I definitely recommend checking out our website. Okay, cool. We're almost done. I just wanted to quickly talk about cost of tuition. So we are pretty affordable. We are one of the most affordable art schools out there. And at $2,223 per semester, you're going to be looking at a full-time price for attending IAIA. If you are looking to be part-time, which is 1 to 11 credit hours for us, you would have to pay by the credit hour, so that would be $185. So depending if you want to be a full-time student or part-time student, they're pretty both affordable options. Definitely consider that. And the last option you have is to be to take classes completely online. And this is more geared towards the certificate students. The online classes per semester are cheaper than the in-person classes. So at $1,667, you're able to buy a full semester of tuition here at IAIA. Cool. Feel free, really quick, if you have any questions, definitely, I believe you can put it in the chat box next to the presentation, and we should be able to get to those. Residence center housing. So this is for students who want to come and live here in Santa Fe and really, taking that beautiful Santa Fe vibes that we offer. We do offer dorms. We also offer family housing. That's something that's not on here, but I'd like to mention as well. But first, our dorms, to have a shared dorm room, which means you're going to have a roommate, you're looking to pay about $2,328 per semester. And then a part of that dorm room experience, you would have to also choose a meal plan. So we have the 14-week meal plan, 14 meals per week meal plan, and then 19 meals. So you have an option of choosing which one. One thing to also keep in mind, especially for this COVID pandemic, as of this past semester and next semester, we are currently housing is only assigning students 1 person per room. So if you are looking to apply for the spring semester, most likely you would be taking online classes. But if you feel like you have to be here on campus, you would get your own room for the price of a shared room. So that's something to keep in mind. Financial aid. So I'm going to briefly touch base on this. I can go into detail about this. This is probably a whole new presentation. But financial aid, first things first, I always tell students, whether you're in high school or whether you just graduated, finish the FAFSA application as soon as you can. You basically have to submit your parents' tax forms, I believe 2 years prior to the year you're applying for. So definitely reach out to your parents or whoever your caregiver is and ask about their tax documents to see if you can get this started. Basically, it's a free application that looks at your family's financial need, and using that financial need analysis, they're really just depending on whether you qualify for what's called a Pell Grant. And a Pell Grant, you could use, it depends on how much money your family makes. You could use that to pay for tuition, your dorms, your any type of fee here at IAIA. So definitely look into it, log into FAFSA, and definitely look into seeing what you can do to complete it. So one thing I also want to mention is the American Indian Scholarship, the American Indian Services, the American Indian Graduate Center. These are all great external scholarships that you can look into. Definitely type in those scholarships into your Google search and read the different criteria that you could that you would have to submit to apply for those. Good sources of money, great sources. So tribal scholarships. So this is probably the #1 location for Native students to look. So if you are looking for funding from your tribe, I would definitely reach out to your local tribal scholarship office. Each tribal scholarship varies in the amounts of money that they offer, and also the criteria that's needed to apply for it. So definitely reach out to the scholarship office near you and see what their criteria is for to see if you qualify for a tribal scholarship. And keep in mind, and a lot of tribal scholarships also use the FAFSA results to really depend on who gets the scholarship and who doesn't. So that's something to keep in mind. Next set of scholarship opportunities I want to talk about, and these are exclusive from IAIA. So depending if you don't have tribal documentation or not, or whether you are Native, then you do qualify for 2 or 3 of these. So the first one does require you to be Native American. So this is for any students who do have tribal documentation and they demonstrate need according to their FAFSA results. So if you are just full-on Native, or you are part Native, or you have tribal documentation, just that alone qualifies you to receive either $250 for part-time student enrollment or a full-time enrollment of for $500. So that's one scholarship that really helps our students as well. And the next scholarship that we offer is our IAIA merit-based scholarship. This one doesn't look at your financial need. So this one's looking at your official high school transcripts. So basically, if you have a really good GPA, let's say 3.9 to 4.0, we'll give you $1,000 right off the bat. And if you come in with a little lower, probably in the lower end of the three region, which is still really good, don't get me wrong, 3.0 to 3.49, we would give you about $500 just off the back, and that's per semester. So definitely, you know, if you don't choose IAIA, look into your own future schools. You know, if they offer their own set of scholarships as well, that's also another good way for financial aid. And the last one, last but not least, is our IAIA general application. So it's basically a single form application that you would fill out, and then we would do all the searching for you. And we would search through hundreds, and if any of those apply, then you know we'll apply it to your account. So that's also one thing to keep the stress low. All right, next, really briefly, we do have virtual admissions tours, virtual tours of campus. I did play a big part in putting these together. We are part of the admissions tour, so if you do play it, you're going to hear my voice in the background. So you don't have to be like, oh, I know that guy. So definitely feel free to check out our virtual tour videos. There's only a few of the buildings that are covered. I'd say about 8 or 9 of them. We still have half that still aren't in the video, and that's primarily due to our campus being closed and the holidays, and just, you know, everything's been so crazy. So we're actually still working on these virtual tours, so definitely give it check it out if you guys have the time. And one more thing before I end the presentation, I wanted to talk a little bit about our 15 to finish graduation plan, and this is exclusive and available to only incoming freshmen, so students who are coming fresh out of high school. This program really is basically saying if you finish, if you obtain a bachelor's degree in less than 4 years here at IAIA, we'll basically refund you your last year of tuition. So basically your last year here at IAIA is free if you do complete your BFA degree program in less than 4 years. So definitely a good way to save money if you ask me. And if you have any questions about this, definitely check out that website down below. You can find out some really good information about the program. And yeah, so that's pretty much the end of my presentation. Once again, my name is Warrior Brown. It's a pretty easy name to remember, as I was telling the host here earlier. So if you guys want to schedule a one-on-one phone call, a Zoom call, if you want to hear a little bit more about, you know, everything I talked about, or if you just want to hear about what IAIA is like, or just anything in that realm of, you know, just kind of talking about our school, definitely reach out. You have 3 ways to reach out. You can, you know, call me on my office phone. You also have my email, and then you could also set up a Calendly appointment on our website. So it'll give you a list of open slots that you can open one up, and we can definitely schedule a meeting, and we can talk about anything you want, or if you have any questions, we can dive deep into that side. So lastly, if you're not able to reach me, in some cases that's become a reality of living in COVID times, so some of us might not be available, definitely reach out to our admissions office. There's our telephone number, our address, and our email. The email we do share as one office there, so if you do send an email to that link, one of us is bound to read it sooner or later. So that's pretty much the end of my presentation. I'm not sure if you guys have any questions, or I'm not sure how we're going to do that.
No, cool. Honestly, I learned a lot. I was just telling Dina, it's so interesting looking at all these different TCUs, because they all have so many different opportunities for Native students. I guess one question we had was, what is the Native representation like at IAIA? So is it Natives mainly from the region, or do you see Natives from all over the country?
Oh man, yeah, we see Natives from all over the country. Before COVID hit, I actually started working here at IAIA back in January, and January was like the silence before the storm, you know. So usually I did a lot of recruitment, and I would travel quite a bit. So I had Alaska, Washington, you know, all of California, Nevada, all of these different states were pretty much lined up, and I was meeting so many different students from different backgrounds, different beliefs, and it was just amazing because one thing to really consider about art, it's a form of expression, and people who create it are really kind of diving deep into what they want to express. And when you come from like an indigenous ran art school, you're going to find a lot of students and people who express themselves very, very greatly. And I love that about IAIA is that each of our students are unique so deeply in the way they think, and that really just shows in their artwork that they show. So definitely, that's a lot of students from everywhere, 93 different tribes that come to IAIA.
Cool, cool.
Warrior, it's kind of the first time I really realized that there were other like non-natives that were attending.
Oh yeah, definitely.
IAIA.
About a quarter of our student population is non-native. We have tons of students, that come. There's a few international students that come here as well.
Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, but I know that a lot of our tribal colleges do open up their admission to all students.
Yeah, and one thing to keep in mind too,
That's
we
really
don't
funny.
charge out-of-state or in-state tuition like most universities or colleges do. So we're pretty much open to everybody to apply. So if you are non-native, definitely check us out.
And I also saw Dr. Martin. He's the president as well.
Oh yeah, Dr. Martin.
One of your
Let
pictures.
me see. He's actually in our brochure too. He's right there. He's
Yeah. He was the president
Oh wow,
at Haskell when I was a student.
Great guy. Yeah, we all love Dr. Martin.
Yeah, and I was checking out your website too, and I noticed that there's a student, and I don't know Melissa Shanganoff, I guess that's how you say the name, and she looks like she is from Pyramid Lake, possibly in Nevada, because that's the only Pyramid Lake I know, in Chickaloon Village. So that's pretty cool. So shout out to Melissa.
That's cool. I'm not sure if we have time. Really quick, I want to show you guys something. One more extra thing on our website. All right.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
All right. Can you guys see that? The page.
Oh, there we go.
All right, awesome. So this is our very beautiful website, and I got to say our photographer is pretty good too. If you ever a chance to check out our website, but basically this is our front page. If you do log into our website, we do keep it pretty updated. So if you want to explore a little bit more, definitely check out the front page. Has a lot of our updated information that's happening. One thing I specifically want to show you guys though is on the left side of the screen here, you can just click search, and this is kind of like the easy gateway to our website. So just search open house, and basically we had a virtual open house late November, and it's a great place to go if you're interested in kind of wanting to be a part of IAIA but virtually. So it was open to the community, to the public. We had a few hundred participants this past year. So really, you're just kind of looking at, if you want to look at the virtual tours, you can click on that. If you want to buy some stuff from our store, our online store, you can definitely check that out as well. We had a live bronze pour. We learned about Pueblo history. If you want to check out, information about our library, or if you want to go into ceramics, it talks a little bit about our fitness and health here at IAIA. Students doing some poetry, introduction to poetry performance, students who are describing some of their photography they did. There's so much different, opportunities for you to be a part of IAIA, even though you're not really a student here. There's a whole lot more. You can also check out a virtual tour of our museum located in beautiful downtown Santa Fe. If you get a chance, definitely check out the virtual tour. It's pretty cool if you get a chance, you're able to really walk around it and feel like you're actually there. We tried our best to, make people feel like they're part of our school still and a part of our community here in Santa Fe. Beautiful, beautiful artwork if you guys get a chance. So so that's basically all I wanted to show you is check out our open house if you guys get a chance.
Very awesome. So Warrior, what is it like to be a native in that area? I know Santa Fe is like one of my favorite places to be, but for those students who are listening and haven't had the opportunity to travel to your beautiful area. What is it like?
Well, I just moved here in January, and sadly, I didn't get to experience a whole lot of what Santa Fe is. My dad did go to school here back in like the early '80s, and then he also returned back here in 2015. And he's told me a lot of stories about what Santa Fe is like, and just the beautiful culture and how that really transformed Santa Fe. So Santa Fe is kind of it's a very mixed community. So we have a very rich Hispanic heritage here, and we also have a very deep indigenous presence here. You also have, the Anglo presence as well. So you have a very good mixture of different cultures that come here, and not to mention that it's kind of in the center of art. It's one of the leading art markets in the entire country. So when you kind of transform all of that, you kind of create this very unique, interesting vibe that's really for people who really want to pursue art. So you can feel it here in Santa Fe. We have tons of art galleries. If you're more interested in cinema and theaters, it's a great place for the arts. So Santa Fe Opera House is open. So there's always so much going on here. Whether the film festivals, the art festivals, Indian market that happens every year as well. It's an amazing place. It's also not huge. I used to live in Phoenix for a little while, for about 2 or 3 years, and it's big of a city. So I came out here to Santa Fe, which is about 80,000 people. It's a very, very close-knit community, very earth-friendly, I like to say. Everybody's all about recycling. In fact, we don't have plastic bags here in Santa Fe. We have to use we call those paper bags, or we have our own bags. So it's definitely earth-friendly community, and full of artists, full of poets, full of musicians, full of directors. I feel like there's a few actors that secretly live here, low-key. And it's definitely a great place where you kind of want to get away from the big picture, but then you kind of want to be a part of that small town vibe too. And one thing to mention too is, we are a part of a desert, but really we're like in the mountains of New Mexico. We're at the very beginning crest of the Rockies. So Santa Fe is a huge mountain town. We have tons of biking, recreational sports. I believe what river is nearby? I totally forgot. It's the one that splits the Mexico and the U.S. Oh, Rio Grande. Anybody that's interested in water sports, Colorado's up the road. So definitely a great place if you're into outdoor recreational activities.
Right. We used to drive through there when I was a student, and one of my roommate is actually from Santa Fe area.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I was going to ask like what fun things to do, but you just explained it all. So yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of stuff to do in Santa Fe, and I think I really like how I never realized it was such like a close-knit art community. I thought it was just like sort of another city in New Mexico, but yeah, it's really cool to hear that. I mean, you have the art school in a place that really is just amplified by art. I think that's really cool. And outside of the art, what is the best? This is our favorite question, that we'd like to ask for native students. But what's the best food on campus or near campus that you think a student should know about?
Oh man, New Mexico entirely. We are known as the chili capital of the world. So anybody that loves that chili, you can definitely find some really good chili, especially that hatch green chili. So we mix chili with every single thing. You don't have to have it for you non-chili lovers, but we love chili with everything. Chili with your eggs, chili with with dinner, chili with so much things. And one common question is, what do you want, green or red? That's one of the most common food questions. As for food, I love the cafe here on campus. Primarily due because of how healthy and organic the food is. Like I said, Santa Fe in itself has a very organic lifestyle. So we're always trying our best to eat as healthy as we can. So I always, go down to our campus cafeteria. It's called the Cafe Bon Appetit. And we have our own chef that works there. And he basically caters to the needs of, students who have dietary needs. So I always go there. They make delicious smoothies upon request, and great coffee in the morning. And so many great foods. But in terms of around Santa Fe, oh man, there's so many I can't even say it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
I can't choose. It's basically you take a right, there's one right there, and then there's another one right there. And the thing about New Mexico too, whether you're in Gallup, New Mexico, or here in Santa Fe, or down in Roswell, or even touching the border in Mexico, you're gonna find a lot of family-owned restaurants. The ones that are been here for generations since my dad was young, and they've been in Santa Fe for a long time. So you're gonna get that, very home-cooked food. But then it's going to be very healthy. So it's just a great place for food.
That sounds like Avery. He eats a lot of healthy foods.
Yeah, that's why I gotta visit Santa Fe and check it out.
Yeah, every Saturday, I believe we had a local farmers market too. And there's farmers markets spread out all throughout New Mexico. And if you ever visit Santa Fe, I recommend checking out the farmers markets. Good produce if you're interested in organic food.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have to come down there and check it out. But yeah, I love food. I remember, I think when we went down there, I think that's like mainly like one of the things that we did was like we're like, oh, we gotta get this chili because like up here we're like more like bar foods and like
Yeah.
dippers, so like it's not like nothing like special to be honest. But like yeah, down there we're like, oh man, we gotta go out there. And I think I went to there's a place across from UNM that people know, but we went there. I had like chili, a huge burrito. It was so good. But yeah, I can't wait to go back down there.
Yeah, breakfast burritos are the best here. I can say that, especially when you sprinkle a little bit of that hatch chili on top. It was so delicious. Not to mention, like you also got to remember the Native American foods, the Pueblo food.
Oh, okay.
We also have the feasts that happen here yearly, and the families that are located in these Pueblo tribes are able to go out and eat in their own homes. And really, it's a food market per se that's available to everyone and anyone. And these are all honestly home cooked, grandpa styled cooking, and it's the best type of cooking you're ever going to get. And I just think that's amazing how families are allowing strangers come into their house and really enjoy their local Pueblo foods.
Wow, that's really cool. We could talk about food the whole entire
Yeah.
college. Yeah. But I like the scholarships that you were mentioning too. That's really important for students to get the scholarship information, and it's just amazing. This is an amazing school.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, really quick, since we're on that topic, I did read a little comment here on the side talking about summer 21.
Mm-hmm.
We do offer classes during the summer, but they're very limited, and that's really due to the amount of faculty that's available here at IAIA. So we do offer classes. Long story short, but we can't guarantee the specific classes that you might want.
Taylor Baker, did she attend the school too?
Yeah, I think she did. I think she's thinking about going back, so that's probably why she's on right now.
Hi, Taylor.
Well, cool. But I think one thing I want to know is what's the sort of best memory that you've had at IAIA personally? I know you've only been there since January, but what's one thing that really separates it from other TCUs that you think?
Oh man, I gotta say the amazing people I work with. Since day one that I started working here, I automatically felt like I was a part of a family, and it could be just due to because we're all focused on one thing, and we're all lost in the beautiful world of art, and we're all in these creative mindsets, and it's a very beautiful thing working here at IAIA. The faculty and the staff, that's kind of what makes IAIA unique. Just recently, our dean Charlene Teeters retired, and that was kind of a really big thing for us. We're like, oh man, she was a part of my dad's group when they were growing up in the '80s, and there's just so many stories about IAIA. You got to.
She's like one of the first activists. She stood out there all by herself and was like, no mascots.
Yeah, definitely. She is an amazing person, and my dad's a really good personal friend with her. And I've met a lot of really unique people here, activists, like you mentioned, and it's kind of the home of where activists come to really express who they are. And that's just one of my best memories is really just being a part of this really close knit family. Because of them, I was able to get through COVID okay, and they really care for their employees. So if any of you that are in the audience someday work at IAIA, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. Because I mean, it's probably really good for students to hear that too. That there's really good, caring staff that they have there. Because if you care for students as much as you do your staff, I mean, like if you care for your staff, usually you care even much more for your students. So I think that's cool to hear.
So as a part of one of our benefits as a staff member, we get one free class per semester. And so I just took a cinematics 101 class, kind of just looking into the introduction of filmmaking. And I took a firsthand approach of what classes for the students would be like, because I felt like it was important as admissions counselor to kind of get that side of the perspective. So I finished it. I think I'm going to get an A. I hope I do. But it's the teaching is amazing. I did it virtually, but even through virtually, it was very great. Very experienced staff members and faculty members here.
Yeah, cool. Another question I have for you is, I know you probably work with a lot of Native students. You've seen students go through struggles, successes there. Or even just in your background too. But what's the best piece of advice you would give to future college students who are thinking about going to IAIA?
Ooh, okay. So, one thing about Indigenous college students is we're very unique. Like literally, we're like less than 1% of the population. Even less than that if you consider it to the entire world. And
Yeah.
our ideology of thinking and beliefs are very unique to us as a people and as a civilization, whether you're Indigenous from Peru or, North America. So, that really defines who we are. It's very unique and it takes a whole lot of understanding. Some people won't even get it if you're non-native. It's a very deep sense to understand that. So one thing I want to, tell all Indigenous future students is you're unique. You're very unique in how you think and how you feel. Even on a larger scale, we're doing some major things. Like we have a few Native American senators out there now. There's a lot going on. I believe Vice President-elect Joe Biden just recently declared Navajo Nation's director of disease prevention, as one of his advisory boards to address COVID-19. So you have, Indigenous leaders like this that are out there, and there's more to come, basically, and that's the people I'm talking to now. Aside from art, I really got my bachelor's in global health. It's kind of a subform of public health, and then I'm really working on getting my master's. I'm still a full-time student, so I'm actually full-time working and a full-time student, so I can speak for both sides of the realm here. So really, it really, it just as long as you come from a very special place and you have that support system behind you, and you always have a place to call home, which a lot of people don't really have. So definitely keep that in mind, and continue to do good for the people that have always been there before you. So good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I know that's really cool that you said that. But yeah, like we're all unique. We all, even though we're all Indigenous people, we all have unique experiences from our own tribes and places.
Yeah,
And so if you're a student out there, you bring your story with you everywhere you go. And I think that's what really makes colleges cool.
yeah, and you also gotta look at it from like I did mention, we are like less than 1% of the world's population. So that like I mentioned earlier as well, that makes us very unique in the way we think, and a lot of it has to do with the sad fact of genocide, and cultural historical trauma that tends to shape who we are as individuals living in today's society. And we lost a lot of knowledge, don't get me wrong. We lost tons. And I think being unique as an Indigenous student, we still have access to those songs and prayers and different stories and very unique perspective that we should continue to pass on to the next generation.
Words well spoken. We're not only getting information about IAIA, but we're also hearing some, very well spoken words. Warrior Brown.
Cool.
Warrior Brown.
Well, honestly, for Dina, we all talk like that here at IAIA. We go off on a realm of deepness and activism, and we love empowering others. So.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And you really get like a creative mindset too. Like creative minds tend to think very, not like interesting, but they think just like they think in a very broad spectrum. So you involve like every aspect when you talk about topics.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, that's what I feel like being what an artist is. I'm a son of an artist. My dad's a watercolor artist, so me and him always get on these very deep conversations all the time. So yeah, thank you for letting me express my thoughts.
No, yeah, it's really good to hear.
Did you say where you were from?
Oh, well, Navajos always like to say we're from where our mom is from. So my mom is from Rock Point, Arizona, located on the Navajo Nation. And then my dad is from Mini Farms, Chinle area. So I graduated from Chinle High School. I'm not sure if you guys ever had a chance to check out that documentary of our basketball team.
Mm-hmm. On the YouTube, right?
Yeah, on Netflix. Yeah.
Netflix. There you go.
Yeah, those were my sister's. Those were my sister's classmates. So she was laughing so much seeing them on film. It cracked me up.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think people realize that for Native people, a lot of our knowledge is through speaking. And so when it comes to writing and other colonial education aspects that we're not really used to, I think we really do find our voices through art and through film and through just any type of creative projects that Native people can create. Because like that's what we used to do in the past. We drew, we voiced our knowledge vocally. But yeah, I think we still see it today, but just in different ways. So like through art and through film, I think that's really going to be the next wave of knowledge is through film and art in the next couple of years. And you're starting to see it with social media.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Yeah, especially living in the times of I should also mention that still living in the times of civil rights reforms. I thought we were done with this back in the 1960s, but it's very well alive today. And having students that are able to distinguish racism and being able to really dive deep into the realms of civil rights, you really just have to find a way to express what you think and what you feel and kind of put it out there. And art is a great way to do that. And a lot of our students do that, in fact. So we have a lot of young activists here at IAIA, it's amazing talking to those students.
Mm-hmm. One more thing about the school too, I learned we had a representative come to Reno in 2016, and I met with her, and I was really amazed at how, I just thought it was like an art school with, a lot of artsy stuff. And, but she was telling me that there was a lot more that is happening there as well about like the different types of programs. And so I thought that was really cool because I just imagined it was only just an art school, not realizing they had, a whole lot of different programs and whatnot. But
yeah, IAIA has a very extensive list of contacts and references. So we do play a pretty big part in, not only Santa Fe, but in New Mexico and throughout indigenous communities out there. Yeah, we love being able to really share our ways of thinking. And in terms of programs, we do offer a lot of programs as well. Right off the back, a lot of our students, oh man, I can't think of any off the back. we've just been in COVID and everything's just been so shut down. But yeah, we do offer a lot of programs. It's not just, about art. So definitely stay tuned for the upcoming programs that we announce. And, it all goes back to that webpage that I talked to you guys about, the very first front page. You'll see a lot of different programs and events that are happening.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be ready once we all hear from it. We'll share it. We'll be sure to share all that information and make sure our students know about all these brand new opportunities that IAI has. But yeah, thanks Warrior for being here with us tonight. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to give a presentation for our students and all those out there who are honestly thinking about going back to school or thinking about going to school in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for sharing your words with us, and thanks for the awesome presentation too.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for inviting me. I look forward to possibly doing some college recruiting when everything goes back to normal. Hopefully I can fit into my my shirt and tie again. And
Yeah.
being COVID kind of resulted in me sitting on my couch for a wee bit too much time. So yeah, you guys take care. I'm not sure wherever you guys are located. Take care out there, and we're always here at IAIA if you guys need us or decide to pursue your education here.
Thank you, Warrior.
Cool. Thank you. And yeah, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We had a really great response rate from all of our guests that we had today. Be sure to share our page, share this information with youth that you learned today. And one piece of advice that I want to end with today is that you're never too old to go back to school. I know people who went to IAIA who were elders and they went back and got their degrees when they were older. So school is not just for youth. You feel free to go back whenever you want. And yeah, thank you all for coming out tonight.
Yeah, and I encourage you to look at their webpage and check out some of the famous natives who attended that school. And I know we'll be seeing Warrior Brown around some more. He was invited to come out to Nevada to present to our youth. So we'll bring him back and maybe in person. So thank you, Avery, for getting in touch with him.
Cool. And have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll see you next week, next Thursday, when we have our guests who are going to be talking about natives in film. So see you next week on Thursday.
See you. Bye, Dwayne, reader.